All right. Hey, everyone. We're going to start with our presentation today. But before that, I just wanted to give you a little update. This is our first online event by WordPress Tamil Nadu, the local chapter. We have had to restart the community because of some inactivity over the last couple of months. So we have Central supporting us, and we are currently listed as one of the meetup groups that they're supporting. So this first online event is in with that motivation that we can build a momentum for the rest of the community, in create more interest for more people to join our community again and become active. So I hope all of you are going to enjoy today's first session. Let me introduce to you Mr. Vijayan Ganesh, who is going to present for us today. uh, Vijayan, do you want to give a few words about yourself? Where are you from? What's your experience so that everyone is well aware?
Okay, hi all. This is Vijayan. Actually, I'm from Erode. I'm doing software development nearly around 15 years. Most of my works involved in PHP. I worked in a few past companies, for example, WPM. And before that, I worked in another WP. Before that, Salsa Technologies. Lots of many bigger projects I involved in. And during COVID period, I started working as a remote employee, and right now I'm working as a freelancer. Thank you. So shall I start that,
Yes, go ahead. Please go ahead.
or else wait for a few more days?
No, I think you can start. We are recording, so if anyone misses the first
Okay,
bit, I'm sure they can catch up on the video.
fine.
Go ahead. Yeah, you can share screen if you've got anything to share with
Sure.
us. Yeah.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we're able to see your screen.
Okay. So today we will learn about how to develop a blocks for WordPress using the package WordPress Create. Okay. So blocks was first introduced in WordPress around the version 5.0. And the main concept behind the blocks is flexibility, modularity. Before that, most of the WordPress developers they develop on their own interest and own frameworks. For example, plugin A may mainly using full of Vue.js, and the plugin B may use Angular, and the plugin C may use React. In order to unify all the plugins concepts and their user interface in the admin end and also front end view page, the Gutenberg was born, and which is incorporated inside the WordPress from the version 5.7. So blocks is nothing but a group or collection of individual blocks combined together to form a page. So each block represents a piece of content. For example, WordPress have a separate block for paragraph, likewise for image, likewise for gallery. Likewise, many other blocks are also available. So why we have to develop using custom blocks? The first thing is improve workflow, because it follows the same standard. If someone jump into your code, they can easily catch up what is edit.js, what is save.js, and some other things already predefined by the custom blocks development standard by WordPress. Apart from that, this is for a developer experience. Apart from that, it enhance the user experience also. In the behind the scenes, in the before the arrival of blocks, most famous one is short code. Sorry, that short code have mostly textual representation with the small configurations. It is difficult to handle for novice users. So this one improve the user experience and also extend the functionality. So extend the functionality means it have all the robust kind of structures, plus it's all are individual components. So you can, if you want to use certain components in your even some external project you can use. For example, Drupal may uses the Gutenberg. maintain consistency. So maintain consistency as like similarly I said earlier. So all the structures and all kind of coding rules, everyone follow the same time. So it will be the consistent one. So these are the foundations, and to getting started with the block development, the following things are required. Basics of WordPress theme and plugin development. This is actually not required, but if you know that, it will be easy for you to pick up wherever if you left some other things. So the foundation requires is these three: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and JSX. JSX is not what somewhat complex things. It's similar to HTML, but it's not a plain HTML. It's a JavaScript notation using XML kind of a what markup language. Okay, so setting up your development environment, you need Node.js and npm, and also an working WordPress website. So using this WordPress create block only, now we are going to look how we can develop a simple plugin. So for scaffolding this, I'm going to run this command. It is a package which is going to create this custom block. So this create block is a WordPress inbuilt package which is used to create the custom blocks. It has some options and arguments. The main argument is the name of the block. Once you provided that, it will start working on creating that. In the meantime, we will have a look at the documentation. So this is the documentation for the create block. I just glance over this document. As I said, it's have options and the slug. We said only we added only slug. The remaining options we not at all included that, but it has some options like template and variant for dynamic blocks. If you want to create a dynamic block, you have to pass this variant. Then your save.js file will be empty. Instead of that, the view content will be present in the PHP inside the render method. So likewise, it have multiple options. It's actually still creating. It will take a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I will explain a few of the concepts present inside the things. Actually, once this script is triggered, this is an info given by the WordPress, this particular package. So it start create the block.json. This is the metadata which holds all your files details like save.js, index.js, and this SCS files, and all these things will be present there. Okay. Later we will jump onto that. We will come into later deeper analysis of all these internal things. So once this run over, the script runs. So you will find a structure something which I listed up here. So we can use a VS Code to see the tree view similar to this. Source inside the source, it creates the block.json, edit, index, and save.js. Likewise, it created these things. Other important files we can find it is this directory build is responsible for all these things compiled and transpiled together for build process. Build process is nothing but these directory have the development kind of things. You have lots of dependencies and even development dependencies. But once during the build, you can provide the options how you can build. So this build will compile all the things and minify it into a small files. So this is the build, and this is one of the important file. It have all the dependencies which required for your package, your blocks need to run. This is the minified file. Likewise, node modules will present. You know what's the purpose of node modules. Its main purpose is provide all the dependency packages of all the things required by our plugin, and the readme text file is also created by this script itself. You have to just change whatever the things you require. This is mainly useful for if you want to submit your plugin to the wp.org plugin repository. And this is the header file of our plugin. It have all the plugin header details, and those who develop the PHP plugin know about this plugin headers. For the new guys, I'm going to explain it as quick as possible. It have the plugin name is necessary one, and its description requires at least, this is about the WordPress version, and this is requires PHP, means this package or this plugin require at least PHP version 7.0. Likewise, other things are easily understandable. I'm going to skip that. The next thing is about the block.json metadata. The thing which I said, that is a source of truth or kind of a metadata configuration file, which is used by the blocks to identify what are the things we defined for our custom blocks. So we are going to jump onto the block.json. Before that, we will skim through the documentation of this. So this is the official documentation of block.json. It have the basic structure, how it's required. I will explain it in our plugin itself because it have large varieties of all the possibilities. I'm going to skip. I just skim over blocks API version. These are the attributes available in the JSON files. I will explain about these things in a quicker way. So these are all, these selectors is kind of some interesting factor. We will go on later on webinars, but let's say just highlight this. If you want to know more about, learn from here. The variations also like that an important factor. Oops, editor scripts. Let's jump onto the block.json file. You see the somewhat similar structure what we see in the top page. Schema and the API version, we are using the third version. Before that, 2 and 1 are available. From 5.8, this is the structure, API version structure scheme, and this is our custom blocks title and category. At the left side of your block editor, you have lots of category of blocks arranged together. Inside the widget category, our plugin will be present, and our blocks have the icon of smiley. Description. The text domain is used for translation purpose. This is editor script, which is handling the backend or admin part of your editor, and view script will handle the front end part of that. This editor style and this style, these two have all your CSS file, CSS structures and everything. The editor style only applied in the admin part, whereas style will be applied both in front end and also in the admin part. Editing and saving. Let's see the define how the block will render the editor. Edit and save JS. So this is our edit.js file. At the start, it will import all the dependencies it's required. It's an internalization, and the underscore is a translation function. Likewise, this used block props is a hook which necessary to handle all the tag attributes. The custom tag attributes, and it have all the styles. SES is a SAS kind of a structure. So this is our edit function. this edit component have the basic paragraph block with a small basic textual data. This use block props will handle all the attributes required for this paragraph. I'm going to run this script. So it will start build all the process. So I'm going to activate my custom block. Getting activated. So now onwards we can do our things. Actually, this is just a editing post. So if someone don't know what it is, it's just a edit. Anyway, I'm going from the listing page itself. So from here I go to this. Always I use this debug. Nothing but it's just a name used for kind of testing and all these kind of things. It's just a post page. Going to edit this. So once open, during development, it is better to open your console also. We'll give some hints for you if anything not working properly. Next thing we have to know how we can include our block. There are three ways as my ideology. So here by using this you can include, or else by clicking this icon you can search your block and you can select to load that, or else here also you can do that. Here you find the category text, media, design and widgets. So here we described our category as widgets, so it will come under this category. You can search it, or else you can directly click and use this. So it's created. I'm going to update this. So this one is editor content and this one is a save content. Let's see. Actually, currently we saw past edit.js. Here, if you change something, for example, so the build will recompile the edit.js. Likewise, here the editor will throw an error because of reconciliation issues. Reconciliation is not an issue. What happening in the behind the scenes is WordPress will find that actually it will be affect only for save.js. Sorry, so you see in later on. So in editor, it all the things whatever you change, it will be dynamically reflected. So these are the things happens in the editor part. The next thing we have to see is save.js. Save.js is responsible for the front-end rendering. Here in save.js, going to edit something. So see, build a code regenerated. If I refresh, you won't see the changes because here you have to check in your editor. See, now the WordPress throws the error. What it says, code generated by save function, content retrieved from post body. So here up to content exclamation is there. Here if you see saved extra thing is there. So something similar to React reconciliation. What it will do means it will check in your database for that this particular post, this plugin, this blocks content matches with the content present in the what your source code of your blocks source code. If it is deviated, it will start throwing this error. Actually, this is recoverable one. This error is thrown only for static blocks. And when will happen is if you edit your source and you will again release other next version of your plugin, these kind of things will happen. For that, you have to handle it properly using deprecation. This deprecation will do all the what reconciliation work and check with the HTML DOM element and structure how to restructure the from old content to the new content will be handled by that. This will be explained in the later webinar because it's the deprecation will itself it requires some more time. But anyway, just give a high level view of why it is happened and how you can rectify while you're developing your plugin and releasing during the time. You can use the deprecate. You can rectify it. So now I recovered. Once I refresh, see the content is updated. So we see both the things, and now we will check the editor.css. So if I add a 10, I will adjust this to 10 pixel. So SES build, and I'm going to refresh. Actually, for this hard reloading also available, but I don't prefer that. See, whatever you added the CSS inside this editor.ses file will be reflected only in the editor part. It won't affect in the save.j or front-end rendering part. To affect in the front end and also both in a front end and also in the editor part, what you have to do is you have to edit this file. So once you updated this, the build process will do the SAS to CSS. This style will be affected both in editor and also in the front end part. See, now the text turned to black. Likewise, here also the text turned into black. So that's the main difference between the editor CSS and the style.css. But from that, as we used to develop using the Create block, it provides some custom npm scripts for us. I'm going to just type npm run to. Sorry, I have to jump into the plugins directory. Actually, I'm in the book directory. So if you just type npm run, it will list it out all the scripts available for you. So here I just listed out two scripts, npm start and npm run build. Currently, this one runs with the npm start. Apart from that, it have a build. This is mainly useful when you're going to compile your code, transpile, and tree shaking and all these things happens here. This format is useful to format your JS and the component React component files. Linked CSS will test whether you are working properly with the CSS or following the WordPress coding standards or not. If else, it will throw the errors. Likewise, linked JS for the JS. Packages updates will update the packages of this custom blocks using and plugin zip is mainly useful for you to submitting the plugin to any repository, for example, wp.org. Let's see the few comments from here. For that, what I am going to do is save.js I'm going to add few unwanted space. Going to run run format. Actually, internally it's using the prettier only. See, it recovered the issue. So you don't worry about while developing whether you have to following the standards or not. You completely develop everything. After that, you run this command to format your code. The next thing, linting. Linting is different from the formatting. Linting is test your file and report if any issue is found. For example, in components, I'm going to use this because if you noted this, save is in small letter, whereas edit is in caps letter. Because the editor part use some dynamic kind of React component, whereas save files is completely plain static HTML kind of thing. So to denote that, it's just a nomenclature, nothing serious here. Even if you use caps S, then you have to edit all the included part. But I'm following the WP standards. So now I'm going to break this file. Just temporarily adding a component fragment. See, already my editor throws the error. Anyway, now we go to check with the link.js. So it will ask npm. I missed the command. npm run link.js. It inspecting the files. It will take time. It report 35th parsing error. Adjacent JSX elements must be wrapped in inclusive type. It means JSX fragments. So and also it's throws the warnings also. Using this, you can find the error. Some likewise in CSS also you can find the error. WordPress have some coding standards. Here instead of hexa value, if you use some web colors name, here it won't throw any errors. But if you run linked CSS, it will pinpoint unexpected color black. So this is not an expected rule. We have to follow hexadecimal values. 10th line, it have an issue. So I'm going to use the older color before we editing. So hope you understand the flows of npm scripts available in that. Okay, these are the things about building the static plugin using the create block. Now we are going into the internals of this to understand deeply about the things. What are the things as of now we developed? As of now, how we see is we just know that as an end user, we know that these kind of things this script prepared for us. Now we will go in depth to understand what are the things exist in there. Actually, I'm explaining in the WP blocks. Then why I am going to the Gutenberg is this is the main plugin the WP team develop, and once it find a stabilized one, it will be merged into the WP WordPress code. Even you can find their tags. See, you maintain like this or WordPress. And the two things, this script was run by us create block, but in the meantime, internally, our script run this WordPress scripts. So I decided to explain both the things. So this is the structure of Gutenberg package, sorry, plugin. And what we developed is using this create block. So this is the path of the create block. So here, actually, I always download the Gutenberg source code in my local development machine because it will be easier for me to search in locally than in what GitHub repository and open that source code also. If you noted the create blocks index file, nothing is there, require lib only there. So we are jumping into the lib to understand internally what happened. So if you see here, it will have bunch of files. So in that file, we're going to see this index.js for now. Block conventions. So particularly in this, here also I opened index.js, but I quickly linked in the document or a PPT. So I just clicked to quick jump for that. Same file only, nothing is different. So when you are running your npx command, this command only started running. If you noted here, what are the things is required for npx create block options are listed here as an option: slug, title, namespace, sort, and everything. WPN variant. Variant is nothing but static or dynamic. And remaining internal working of this, how we need to be passed, all these things. And the scaffold will be happening here. Scaffold means here, these things are building now. So this is the scaffold thing. It will create all the boilerplate for your edit and save and the SCS and build process, all these things happening here. And block.json, how block.json created. That actually I'm jumping here and there, don't get confused. I will come back for that. Here, if you see the block.json, there is a structure. So while we running this script, this structure has been created for us, but you don't know from where it is picking these all attributes for this JSON, which is picked from this particular file. Schema, API version, name, and all these things. And whatever you pass, it will be overridden from here. So if you compare this with our file, you will get to know schema, API version, likewise name, version, title, category, icon, description. Likewise, it will have many things. So internally, this file only is creating this template structure for the block.json. And during our process running, it will auto install the WP scripts also. Here you will find actually when we run the create block script, here you see creating a new WordPress plugin, the my custom. So like this, after this happens, install WordPress, it might take a couple of minutes. So these scripts are run from here. So when you run this script, actually this command are going to happen. It's nothing but npm install of this WordPress scripts. So internally, this is the more core concept of the create blocks internals. And likewise, we will see for the package scripts. Why I am urging to explain even the package script is because here, if you see, most of the things are like configuration files. Only one script which WordPress create block itself using is WordPress scripts. That's why I also planned to explain that WordPress core blocks internal things also. So WordPress scripts, actually I previously listed some scripts now. Here. These scripts are running as commands inside this internal file only. So here, if you see linked-style.js, likewise linked-js, format.js, start, likewise it will be for build also. So these files are the scripts actually handling the things here. So the next thing is actually here, if you see that linked hyphen style.js, but here when we actually run it as a colon.js. If you want to know how it is mapping this to this, you have to jump into the main package.json file. Here. Okay. Actually, I'm using the grep search for my most of the things to search. Instead of jumping to the file and find out, what I do is do by searching it. So if you noted here, here it is mapped with this lint colon cs, lint colon js, which is present inside the create block package, lib init package.json. So all the packages present inside this directory. So here, inside the create block, you find the lib directory, init package.json. So all the command mapping has been done here only. So this is how internally it's do the things. When you are running the lint colon JS, actually it's running the WP scripts space lint JS command. So key directories to know. Actually, as I said that it's this create blocks and everything is come from the Gutenberg plan. If you want to know and want to learn more about the internals, the three important directories I can suggest is first one is the docs directory. Here you didn't find any code, but you will find all the usual documentation. The documentation which is generated and rendering here is come from this part only. So if you see, forget about these assets. Getting started, how to guide, reference guide, explanation, contributor guide. See, contributors will be equal to contributors guide, explanation, getting started, how to guide, reference guide. So all these things, the documentation, official documentation also come from here. This is the one of the main directory of Gutenberg. And the another one is this lib directory, which have the PHP or the dynamic part backend kind of things of Gutenbergs are handled here only. And this is the important directory packages. From here only, most of the packages available, like what we do currently. Create block, that package also present here. Likewise, scripts block, we few minutes back we checked, that also here only. Likewise, if you happen to develop in the backend, you will use many components. All these components will be here. You will find, see, card, button, individual. These components are present here only, and the block editor component is present in the some other directory of block editor. Same kind of components you will find there here also, but here it is fully used inside your block editor. I mean this part, and these official components are come from here only. So these are the things about internals. Up to this I explained, and this is the grep search. Why I am including this is in order to make you as expertise in finding your code in a quicker way. Actually, as you noted that I practically shown that I don't know where exactly the lint hyphen style is mapped to the lint column CSS. I just run over the script and I found out. Likewise, most of the options here I mentioned is same only. But anyway, what are the things I prepared for this webinar, I added here for your convenience. So if you run, likewise, it will list it out all the WordPress scripts. I will explain this part also. It's not related to block development, but it's related to searching the code using some CLI commands. I'm using Linux, and the command I'm running is grep. Grep is regular expression kind of a search. So these predefined templates is actually a few minutes back we see the thing block.json, this structure. These are handled by these predefined plugin templates. I believe. For that, to identify the source code I used, let's see explain this command. This is the command name grep, and the options I have is recursive, case insensitive, and also display the number of that file so that I can quickly jump over that. After context means this is the search term. After it will show two lines. Before context means this is the search term. Before that it will show the two lines. Exclude directory. I don't want to check all the text content, so I removed that, excluded that directory. Also, I don't want particular files. This bracket and this bracket is kind of what exploding options. So instead of giving the exclude option multiple times, I'm using the inbuilt bash command. What it will do is exclude. It is equivalent to what? Exclude equal to package slash star JSON space exclude equal to challenge.txt space exclude equal to star.md. So instead of typing exclude multiple times, I'm using this, and this is the search string. So the script is not related to Gutenberg, but I'm just giving you a glance how to easily jump over to the source code. It will be useful for you when you are developing. Conclusion. So from this tutorial, you learned about how to set up and registering your plugin, and also the editing the process, and also you get some basics about the internals of a create block and the WP scripts, WordPress scripts. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Vijayan. That was a very informative first session for us. I hope everyone else on this call also felt the same. Uh, Before we move into the Q&A, I just wanted to give a couple of quick updates over here and introduce the current organizer team, which is myself, Vanita, Vijayan, who has just taken us through the session for block development, Kader, who is also on this call, Hilson, Pia Mohammed, who is here on this call as well, and Harish. So we're looking for more organizers. If any of you on this call would like to join us and help us prepare more such interesting topics in the future for our events, please go ahead and do so. And if you want to be a speaker at an upcoming event, please let us know. We have listed our Slack channel, and you can join that and get in touch with us. So please go ahead and join us there. You can also, join meetup group if you haven't and you've come through like recommendation, or some of us have shared this link with our personal network. And if you're not on our meetup group as well, please do that. Having said all of this, we'd like to move into our quick Q&A round because we're a bit short in time. So please start dropping your questions in the chat or raising your hand so that you can speak. Does anyone have a question for Vijayan? Thank you, Vijayan, for sharing your slides.
Yeah, you can make use of that.
Hello.
Hello, yes. Go ahead, Sandeep.
Sometime we have view.js also in the code when we create block. What is that view.js for that?
Sorry, I think your voice is breaking for me. I know how to.
We can't hear you clearly, Sandeep. Do you want to quickly drop us a message? Looks like there could be a connectivity issue. Can you just
I'm repeating again. In the when we create a block, then there are many files like index.js, edit.js, and yeah, one another file view.js. So what is the role of view.js at there?
Sorry, I'm not clearly getting your what you're saying.
I think what Sandeep is asking is when you run the create block script, a lot of files are created,
Okay.
and one of the file he says is view.js. So he's asking whether that view.js file, what is the purpose of the view.js file? Am I correct, Sandeep?
Yes, right.
This view.js.
So if you look at the
Actually,
src folder, there is a view.js file in the src folders. Yes. So edit, we have edit, save, and it's yes.
this is the new modern kind of thing. This is for the dynamic what, interactive API following this view.js files. For that only it's starter creating. So if you have some what front end part JS only, you can make use of this view.js file. Instead of that interactive need not to be affected in the backend. See here itself they explained this one. If you are not making any changes to this file because your project does not need any JavaScript running in the front end, then you should delete this file and remove the view script property from block.json. Actually, this is a most recent add-on to the block.json. This is mainly useful, for example, in front end only some interactivity, JavaScript based interactivity is required means you can make use of this file. You got my point?
Sandeep, does that clear your question?
Sir, can you give some example for it so that can understand more?
Real-time example like you are creating some basic drawing application for the kids kindergarten means behind the scenes it requires some functionality, but in front end it requires some basic animations for the kids like playing sound, but in begin the admin end it don't require means that playing sound all these interactivities can be run in your view.js file. So this is one example. So the another thing like if you have some complex layouts and it has some lots of bells and whistles, animations kind of thing, that thing don't want your editor to hang up. So you can make use of the view.js file to provide your interactivity and a heavier JS front end parts here. For example, if you are doing some, if you have a website something similar to YouTube, behind the scenes, you just upload the video and play whether it is playing or not. In front end, you will see all the interactive things like how to show the right side things like
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. I think
Yeah,
we lost Vijayan in the middle. Yeah, I think there's some connectivity issue. I'm just gonna ping him on our Slack and see if he can rejoin the meeting. Okay. Does anybody else have some questions?
Yes, now there is that
Sorry, Vijayan, we lost you in the
voice
middle.
is not coming. Voice is not coming.
Can you hear me, Sandeep?
Yeah, hearing you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vijayan, go ahead. We lost you in the middle of that conversation.
Yeah, okay, I explained about video upload or something similar to YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you have front-end interactivity and a higher kind of controls in the front-end means you can make use of the Vue.js. So any other examples you require apart from these two?
My question is basic, like if we have shape.js also, then why we require view.js at that time?
Actually, if you run the
Because
that
shape.js also for so all data in the front end, then why require view.js?
Vue.js load the JavaScript only in the front-end part. If you load the saved files in your saved.js, it will be loaded in your editor part also. It will be extra load at the behind the editor. That's the main reason the saved.js.
Does that answer your question, Sandeep, now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions for us? All right. I am only hearing silence. So is anybody here currently still on this call who would like to join the organizer team or would like to speak at our next event?
I've shared all the communication details, so you can join us via Slack or email. To be part of organizers, you need to take a small training. I've shared the learn.wordpress.org link. So it's a small course, and you can just view the course and take the training. So once you've cleared the training, you can join us through meetup.com link as well. So we have meetup.com link. We have Slack. Also, we have WhatsApp for communication.
And just to be clear, you don't need to do the organizer course to join Slack or Meetup. It's only if you want to join the organizing team and help us conduct these events. It's a requirement by WP Central. And we have all completed the course. It takes only 5 minutes. It's very basic. There is no qualification and things like that needed. All that's needed is your willingness to volunteer your time to help us make this community even more bigger and more active. And that's roughly a few hours per week. We have a team call every Thursdays. The next team call, which will happen at the same time, 5 p.m. IST to 6 p.m. IST. We are looking forward to any of you who are interested. We will post our meeting link on the general on Slack, so you can join via that or RSVP earlier. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing some new faces. And hopefully, if we are a bigger organizer team, we can conduct more of these events. So unless anyone's got any further last questions or things to share with the team. Any feedback from today's session? Anybody would like to give any feedback to Vijayan? I'm sure he'd be eager to know how this was received by all of you.
I shared the email address as well. So this is the WordPress Tamil Nadu at gmail.com. So you can email us your feedback if you find that comfortable.
Vijayan, any last thoughts from you? Anything you want to share with everyone that joined this first session to hear you?
If you feel awkward to ask any queries here, please put a DM me at what's the issue. But it is good to, if you ask here, most of the people will get to know whatever the things they are about. Something like how some people and myself discussed about the Vue.js And what's the purpose of that? It will be clarified to everyone also. Anyone else?
Okay, we have a message on the chat says, would you please share communication details again? So Mohammad Anas, if you just scroll up on the chat, you'll be able to see Kadar's message with our email, the Slack link, as well as the Meetup organizer link. Is there any other kind of communication that you want us to disclose here?
Well, actually, I also didn't find that chat. Once it's refreshed, in-call message is completely lost out. Only
Okay,
one.
let me repost then and
Yes.
confirm if everyone's able to see it. Okay, looks like Kadir also had the same idea, so we have both reposted. Mohammad Anas, are you able to see the messages now?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
likewise, I shared the slide also. If you want, you can download and use it.
Yeah, thank you.
Nothing's
Yeah.
in there. It's just a highlight of what I explained.
Also, feel free to use the discussion board on Meetup. If you're trying to reach out to any of us and you're unable to find how to reach out, you can always ping us there. One of us will be online and be able to respond as soon as possible. Also, just for everyone's awareness on this call, we will be posting the official call for organizers and disclosing our meeting timing and our meeting link. So keep a lookout for that. It will be posted on Meetup group. So if that's how you got to jump onto this call, you will get subsequent notification as well. Is there anything else? I think people are slowly dropping off the call because we have just got 4 more minutes for the end of this session. Kadir, is there anything else you want to share?
No?
We are good. So thank you everyone for joining us.
Yeah.
Hopefully, so we are planning to have online events like every bi-weekly. So if you have any suggestions for new topics, or if you'd like to present, or if you'd like to just join us for one of the organizers meeting, please do so. This community is open for all. So we have named it Tamil Nadu. It's going to be in we'll have topics both in Tamil at some point as well as in English as well. So please come forward and join this community in organizing as well. So thank you everyone. And thank you, Vijayan.
You please invite your friends who are already active in WordPress or who use WordPress daily in their work or in their personal life. We're looking forward to seeing you all again at our next online session. Yep. Thanks, everyone. Thumbs up for everyone.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Sandeep, did you have a question?
Yes, Sandeep.
I have one another question. If as you in the starting told it is static block. When if we want to develop dynamic block, then how can we do that?
In create block, you have to pass the variant as a dynamic. So block development, you will have the create block. Inside there is an option called variant. That variant you have to pass dynamic. So once you pass the dynamic, it will create the dynamic.
I think your screen is not visible.
Yeah, Vijayan, you need to screen share again, I think.
Okay. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yeah.
You go to the documentation of WordPress create block. There is an option called variant. So if you want dynamic block, you have to pass dynamic. So the creating block, this flag will decide whether we want to create a dynamic block or not. If you pass it as dynamic, it will create it as a dynamic. You exclude it, as I previously shown a template block. default template. It is static one. From there it will start creating.
Can you give some example for dynamic block?
Dynamic block site title. You see, there are lots of dynamic block in site like this. The site title is a dynamic block. Likewise, post list. These also dynamic block. If you want to know more in depth of the source code, dynamic block. So it is the it is what is the rule? Let's switch. So these are the dynamic blocks. Your example is there in create block as well. Template changes. Create block tutorials have desktop changes. This is so this kind of structure vendor file slash vendor.php like this will be present instead of this one. Index that it script say that this instead of here it will be present in the PHP part. So when you run using this variant kind, it will create something like this. If you want to showcase, I can run this, but it will take some time. Is it okay for you? Likewise, it starts generating the files. So similar, we just do what it's done for the static block. Wait, I'm looking to the source code first. These are all technical comment questions. Okay, generated this file. We'll just look into you see this render.php file is the main one to render. So we are whatever here it's handled using this render.php file only. And in your block.json also, instead of front-end part, you have to pass this render.php. So from here, whatever the things present, it will be rendered. The block, everything is Sandeep.
Hello.
Yeah, you got what about regarding the dynamic one? Instead of save.js, it will be rendered in the render.php. So all the things in the backend, and the main thing is save.js is if you change anything, it will be through the block recovery error. If it is happens in the render.php, that error won't be thrown, but there will be a what like a scale you have to measure when to use dynamic block and when to use static block. So for the exact purpose of to avoid that block recovery issues, don't use the dynamic block. But if it is required really, like you are fetching content from external source than your plugin or than your block, then you go for the dynamic blocks. Or else don't go for the dynamic blocks. Instead of use the static one. So what is the advantage of using static is static will be rendered as a plain HTML, so the loading will be little quicker. But the advantage of dynamic is even you change it the behind the scenes and you on the second version of your plugin release there won't be any plugin breakings like block recovery. All these things won't be thrown out, but it is easily handled if you have the deprecation in your block.json. So if you have the proper deprecation, you can make use of static itself. In my opinion, most of the time it don't require a dynamic block for the content which don't have more interactions or nothing. If it is a plain HTML content, go for static. Anything you need a quicker change or anything behind the scenes means you have to use the WordPress data layers. So, do you want anything else?
No. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Sandeep, for joining this call and giving us the 2 questions in our Q&A round. I really appreciate it. अगर आपको interest है organizer बनने का, तो please join us in our next call at the same time next week. we'd be looking forward to it, because I think you are our most enthusiastic person on the call.
Actually, Sunday, a long time ago. So don't make it. It's not a schizo, but everything he asked is in live session only. We don't discuss anything behind the scenes.
That's good. That's good to know. Thank you, Vijayan, for the wonderful session. Looking forward to
Thank you.
catching up next week. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Wilson.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.